Hello and welcome to another edition of BattleTech Advanced, brought to you by Commando Gaming, Strategic Gaming, and brought to you live on twitch.tv at Commando Gaming 1. We're getting back into our series on BattleTech Advanced. Really excited about that because 8.3 was released yesterday. So we're very fortunate to have 8.3 now available. Very excited about that. And 8.3 is pretty much the closest this mech has ever gotten to lore. We've had 2 additional clans added to the map in a limited fashion. And I'll go through some of the changes to the mod once we have a full house of people in the stream, because I don't want to repeat it over and over and over again, but there's some really good changes. So I've got the notes from the developer teed up, and I'm going to do a mission or two just to get the chat populated, and then what we're going to do is I'll take a few minutes to give you guys an overview of what's in the new update. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning. I know a lot of people are off today. I am myself, which means we've got 3 hours for a nice holiday stream in honor of Martin Luther King. So let's find ourselves we got a whole bunch of BTA live fire exercises. I don't think we're going to do those unless we have to. We've got a straight up battle, so let's do that. It's a half skull. So remember, we did a fresh start just yesterday, so this is only our second drop with the current lance. So let's see. You know what? It's a half skull mission. I think I can go without our 1 Jenner. So we've got Pokey, which is our Dervish, currently primarily an LRM build. We have the Clint. We're going to take our Firebee in replacement of a Jenner. We have a Jenner. And we just picked up this Locust PA Light. I also have a update on our challenge between BTA and myself, or IMG and myself. Really excited about giving you an update on that. We're making some good progress. We actually did some testing yesterday, and it went down to the wire. We did 1 test match. Nobody really picked the lances that they wanted. We just did, whatever we grabbed. But we were able to put together quite a little battle, I have to say. So went down to the wire. I'm not going to tell you who won, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to play PvP again. I haven't done that in quite some time with this game. Now, to give you a heads up, we can't play with the mods for the challenge because the mods disrupt the skirmish bay way too much to make that possible. So we're going to play vanilla BattleTech for our showdown. So it should be a lot of fun. We have to kind of dust off our old BattleTech strategies and rules. But the testing was fun. So it went down to the wire. Could have gone either way for both pilots. So we'll just see, or both commanders. So we'll see where it goes. So we've got Pokey, Clint, Firebee, Jenner, Locust. Now hopefully we're going to encounter some of the new items of the mod in these first missions. If not, I will definitely point out the things that we're looking at that are different than version 8.2. So I'm going to try to highlight those as we go along. But really excited to have some fun gameplay with you today. Let's get everybody involved in the chat. That would be great. I want to have as many people involved in the chat as possible today. I won't be surprised if the stream is a little light on viewers today, simply because it is a holiday here in the United States, but we'll see who shows up.
Command interface initiated.
Right, so our first drop with 8.3. Really excited about exploring another world-class update from Destroy the Canopian Unit. So this is a straight-up battle. Alright, so we've got Pokey. Let's move Pokey down. Clint. Our Firebee.
I get you. On the move.
Let's see if we can use the Jenner to flank a little bit.
On it.
And we'll definitely use the Locust to flank a little bit.
Position confirmed.
Waiting for orders. Coordinates received.
Hey, Sneaky Silk. Or is it Sneak? Oh, it's Sneaky. Yeah, Sneaky Silk. I thought it might be Sneaky Sick.
Acknowledged.
Which sounds like something I had a situation the other day with a bad burrito, but that's another story.
Heading up.
Yeah, everything's going great, my man. We are. So, we are playing our first playthrough of BattleTech Advanced 8.3. We played BattleTech Advanced extensively before, if you haven't joined our channel, but 8.3 has some pretty significant updates to the mod, so we're excited about it. Just got dropped yesterday. So we're starting out with a battle here. We just did a fresh restart on this mod just yesterday. I didn't even know the update was coming out. Could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I've played Rogue Tech as well, Sneaky. They're kind of slightly different flavors of the same coin. You know, it's obviously much more in depth than vanilla BattleTech, but I'd say BTA
Looking out.
is so there's like BattleTech expanded. Then there's BTA, and then up in the top is Rogue Tech, which is kind of like BattleTech on cocaine. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because that's just trying to describe how much different Rogue Tech is from regular BattleTech. So that's kind of how I explain all of the items. I have a lot of respect for the crew that put together Rogue Tech. I've played Rogue Tech a fair amount. It's been a while since I played Rogue Tech, because I kind of got turned off by the community. But that being said, I really like Rogue Tech, what Rogue Tech brings to the field. It's just a lot. Ooh, alright, I think that's the new version of the Hollander, if I'm not mistaken.
Internal structure damage.
Who just took a chunk out of my fire bee right from the get-go. All right, we gotta push in on this Hollander.
Understood. Moving fast.
We're gonna want to take him out quickly. All right, so this Hollander. No, that might be the Hollander we've seen before. I think it's just the updated model of the Hollander. There's supposed to be an updated model of the Hollander in this mod, as well as a new version. I think that's just the updated model.
What can I do for you?
Alright. We gotta get across this river into some cover, please.
Got it. Max speed, no shooting.
Alright. So what do we got here? We got the Hollander. We've got a fire starter. The P fire starter, which is a really nice fire starter. Alright, let's hit the Scorpion. Try to get an enemy off the field. There we go. So, whenever you're facing a set number of enemies, and right now we're only facing 4, we want to try to eliminate one target as quickly as possible so you turn the advantage numerically to yourself, so you can focus down on particular targets with multiple mechs. Alright, so we got the Hollander here. Alright, this Hollander has thumper artillery. Okay. So that's why we took so much damage from that strike. Alright, so we got the fire starter. Hover tank. Alright, hit percentages are poor here, but we want to take out the Hollander as quickly as we can because the Hollander has that thumper artillery, which is really nasty.
What do you need?
Alright. Got our Locust here. Let's start using our Locust to flank. That's what they're best at.
Affirmative.
Alright, so this is the Locust 1PA. It has chemical lasers as its base weapons here. Alright, let's make our mark with this
Taking the shot.
Locust while we can. Try to keep that fire starter distracted while we go after the Hollander. Let's see if that works. Yep. Okay, so... Oh, jeez. Alright, lucky shot there on our Locust. Our Locust was highly evasive, but
Oh, I'm hit.
that fire starter nailed him with the PPC. Nice. That was, you know, I mean, it's not nice for me, but that was a nice shot. I got to give him credit for that. Alright, we need to keep working on the mech that has the thumper. This is the biggest threat on the board right now. Alright, let's do precision strike just to increase accuracy. We better hit here. Ah, we missed. What a waste of a precision strike.
Standing by.
Alright, Jenner, you need to dive in there and get some pressure on this thumper fire artillery piece. That's not... We need to hit this guy hard. Especially with our... Because he's going to go after our Locust. 9 times out of 10, he's going to go after our Locust with his next shot. Alright, got a hover tank.
I hear ya.
Alright, Clint, you need to get up there. You need to act as a target, number 1. And number 2, you need to get some prep fire on that Hollander.
All weapons are go.
Alright, we got 2 structurally damaged
Another
legs
hit
on
like
that
and
Hollander.
you're toast.
If we could take him down, he's going to shoot at least once, probably at our Locust. Yep. I knew that was going to happen.
Reporting light damage.
Thank you for the follow, you Terra Noob. Thank you for that. Want to thank everybody who's joining us today. Please feel free to get engaged in the chat room. That's what we're here for. Otherwise, you'd be playing this yourself. do multi-target here. Really need to break some stuff off of that Hollander.
Firing on multiple enemies.
Oof. Keep in mind, I've got brand new pilots, so we're dealing with the growing pains of our pilots right now. Be nice if we took out a leg. No, no dice there. Alright, fire starter. Let's see what the fire starter does here. Oh, it didn't go after the locust. I thought for sure it would finish off the locust.
Waiting for orders.
That probably would have been the smartest thing for him to do, but he did not do that. I'd like to get more fire on that Hollander, but the AI was smart enough to pull it back. So let's go after the fire starter P.
Target confirmed.
For those of you that are joining, after this mission, I'm going to go through the release notes for 8.3. Oh, alright, there goes our locust. Hopefully our pilot survived. That was nasty. Alright, so what we need to do is get this Hollander down on the ground. Well, hopefully the pilot's not dead. Sneaky, we'll see. Let's get this Hollander down. I mean, it was really bad luck that they were able to get a leg hit on our locust when it was running at high evasion.
Waiting for orders.
Definitely was unusual for that to happen. Alright,
On my way.
Right, we really need to try to get this Hollander down on the ground. Let's do Battlelord here. Maximize our chances of a strike with Battlelord. Alright, there we go. We got a leg down on the Hollander. Hollander ejected with 3 salvageable parts. And that Thumper looks like it's a pretty tasty thing for us to get in salvage at this stage of the game. We're going to go for melee on the hover tank. The reason I'm going after the hover tank now is we want to try to isolate that fire starter and try to get as many parts as possible. Ouch. Alright.
Reporting.
This fire starter P has a nasty bit of bite to it because of that PPC. It's one of my favorite fighter starter variants.
Standing by.
Alright, so we need to use our numbers here. Specifically, we need to get as evasive as possible
I copy.
with our Jenner and get in the face of this fire starter. And heat's starting to become a problem.
I'm on it.
Ooh, got some good hits on the weapon arm of that fire starter. That's good. Right, here comes that hover tank.
Good to go.
I don't want to do a charge on that hover tank. I was hoping to get rid of that hover tank before we had to deal with the fire starter, but don't think that's going to happen. Alright, let's hit this fire starter. Alright, there we go. Flamer destroyed. Want to try to pick this apart, get as many parts as possible.
I'm on the clock. What do you
Would
want?
love to get as many people involved in the chat as possible, so please get into the mix here, folks. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna keep going after the fire starter here. Oh yeah, I had to use Tex as my commander because I'm taking as many vanilla pilots as I can for this playthrough, because what we're going to do is we're going to let all of our viewers
Full speed.
use their channel points to name the pilots. So you know, it's hardly new, but it's something I haven't done before. So, all right, we're gonna have poor chances of hitting with our rocket launcher here, so we're just gonna shoot everything we have. Probably gonna get some splash damage on the Jenner, but I'm trying to get rid of that cover tank. If we can. Yep. All right, that was worth the splash damage to the Jenner, getting rid of that tank.
Reporting one less vehicle.
So that was worth it
My
for
flavor is
sure.
empty.
Alright, we're going to have to keep our Jenner evasive here. As evasive as possible while shooting at the target. But I'd also like cover. Alright, so we're going to trade a little evasion for cover here. And let's do precision strike. I'd like to get as many parts of this fire starter as possible. And we're only going to get one, looks like. No, we got 3. Ooh, we're going to have some tough salvage choices here.
Mission successful.
But these are a good problem to have. So we're going to have 3 fire starter parts and 3 Hollander parts. Alright, we got a little bit of C-bills. That's funny, Sneaky. By the way, thank you for joining our stream, everybody. So, let's take a look at... So we got a little bit of damage to our Clint, a little bit of damage to our Firebee. I forgot to check to see if we lost our pilot. We'll see what happens. So we only have 2 parts of choice salvage. So we're going to take the Firestarter P parts because they're worth more to me than the Hollander parts. Ooh, alright. So we got 3 Firestarter P parts and 2 parts of the Hollander. That was a really lucky draw. We got some chemical lasers. We got the Thumper artillery too. So that's really nice salvage there. We definitely rolled really high on the salvage for this mission. You know what? I'm not going to use these chemical lasers. So let's just keep the let's try to keep the mech bay from getting cluttered up with stuff that I'm not going to use. I'll take the ammo for the chemical lasers. Machine gun, nah. I'm not a big machine gun person. I do like everything else that we got though, so let's move on. So I do have the notes from the mod developer of the update 8.3 and everything that it has, but I think I'm going to wait until we have a larger audience to go through everything that's in 8.3. Alright, so let's look at the mech bay here. Alright, we got some minor repairs to the Clint, 1 day. 1 day for the Firebee. Let's look at the Locust. It shouldn't be that... Oh, and this had an XL engine in it. Oh, darn it. That was a painful loss right there. That was just really bad luck. You know what? I don't love the Locust anyways, so we're just going to actually just scrap the Locust. I don't want to spend the money repairing a mech that I'm not going to keep around for much longer. Hopefully. Alright, so luckily we have a Jenner, Firebee, and Clint that are all going to be ready in a couple days. So it makes sense here for us to just wait for these repairs to be completed.
I wrapped up that job you asked for, Commander.
Alright, let's stop by the barracks. Hey, Goggles, thank you for joining us. Also, following Nobody SM, thank you for following, and Tough Plays. Thank you for following. Goggles, we're really excited today because they released the new edition of BattleTech, which is 8.3. Goggles, for those of you in the audience, is in the process of starting his first playthrough of BattleTech Advanced. And Goggles, before you update, I want you to read the release notes for 8.3 and make sure that you feel that you want to update, because 8.3 is going to be a little bit more complex and is going to have a lot more things thrown into it. So for a new player, you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want to play the latest version, or do you want to play an easier version that's going to help you navigate your first playthrough of BTA? So that's a choice that you're going to have to make, Goggles. But I don't know. Hopefully we're going to see some of the elements of the playthrough today, and it will serve you well. I'm also doing a fresh start, Goggles, right now, so that will also help you see some of the play that's similar to what you're dealing with in your new playthrough.
Yep.
Waiting
And
on
hopefully
you,
some
Commander.
of my strategies and tactics will help you
Awaiting
out.
orders.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, we're just doing some pilot upgrades here. Oh, Pathfinder's going to be out for 38 days. Oh, alright, that hurts. I'm going to have to think about whether I'm going to keep Pathfinder around. He's a decent pilot. I don't want to give him up, but not having a pilot for 38 days. Let's see how far we get on this planet before we decide what we're going to do with him.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Alright, let's find ourselves another mission. Alright, Goggles. You already updated, so you might know more of what I'm going to see than I do, because this is my first playthrough. Alright, we got a nice battle here. One of the good things about the early planet for most of the starting points in BattleTech Advanced is you get a lot of battles instead of themed missions, which allow you to actually get more comfortable with the mechs you have available. So we've got the Dervish, the Clint, the Firebee, the Jenner, and we're replacing our Locust with another Jenner, so that's a significant upgrade in our Lance here, although we did lose Pathfinder. Alright, let's get Coach some time on the stick. You already have Thunder LRM ammo? Wow, Goggles. Hey Andre, how's it going today? There's an update of the mod, so we're excited about that this morning. We're also continuing our fresh start playthrough. So really excited to bring that to you today. Once we have at least 20 people in the chat, I'm going to go through the developer notes for what was released in 8.3. I don't want to repeat it multiple times. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the developers' notes after we have a full house of people watching the stream. But of course, if there's any changes, I'll try to point them out while we're playing.
Command interface.
I also want to remind everybody, you still have the ability to use your channel points to either name a mech or name a pilot. So please, while you're watching, if you're interested in using your channel points for that, please
Let's get down to it.
go ahead and do so I can add your pilot or mech
On my way.
in between missions. So if you want to use your channel points to name a pilot,
Acknowledge, Commander.
between now and the end of this mission, please do so. Right, so the biggest advantage we have with these early missions is we're going to actually have a numerical advantage of 5 versus 4. Unless there's reinforcements or supporting mechs. So that means we already have the advantage
Good to go.
to focus down on one target at a time and take them off the field quickly, which is always, whether it was Battletech lore or whether it was this game,
Locked on.
or tabletop for that matter, focusing down on one enemy is a real proven tactic to really maximize your opportunities for success.
Ready for order.
Getting a tactical numerical advantage is always a key component of Battletech. That's why in many cases, the pilot that recklessly throws their life away is really the one that's doing his company the least amount of good. So we got a Panther. Panther is not a bad amount of salvage right now. Alright, let's go for the Panther. One of the challenging things about early playthroughs of BTA is you have to... Okay, here's a Valiant. I would argue the Valiant is probably the better mech for salvage right now.
My old mama can hit harder than that.
So we got 2 enemy mechs and 2 enemy vehicles that we're up against here. So one thing I can do is I can kind of peel off
Aye, Skipper.
our Jenner here.
No target.
And I can have him focus on... I was going to say have him go after the vehicle, but the chances of hitting are too low. So let's just go after the Panther again here. You know, you want to have flexibility with your strategy. So, like any military situation, your plan only lasts as long as until you make contact with the enemy, and then everything changes. So you have to have flexibility with your plans. Speaking of flexibility in your plans, just an update for those of you that have just joined us. We are still working on our plans for a
I'm on the clock. What do you
player versus player showdown between myself and IMG,
Let's make
the
some
other
winning
streamer on our
decisions.
channel.
Nice.
We're going to play PvP Vanilla Battletech head-to-head. And that's probably going to happen in the next week or so. We're figuring out the exact time. It's going to be a 5-round tournament. The best first player to 3 wins wins the tournament. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have to dust off our vanilla Battletech skills because the skirmish feature does not work with any modded Battletech. So we're going old school for our showdown. Should be a lot of fun. We did a test battle the other day, and it went down to the wire. So I'm really looking forward to a fun competition between the two of
Got
us.
something you want done?
Alright, let's just go for a kick on this harasser.
Locked on for physical attack.
If we can get rid of one of these vehicles, which we just did, that was a real boon to our chances
Enemy
to
vehicle
maximizing salvage on this mission. Here comes the Panther. Why is that Panther not shooting its large energy weapon? Is it out? Is it not available?
destroyed. Move into position.
Let's get into some cover here. What's going on with this Panther? Oh, his PPC is non-operational. Okay, that makes him much less of a threat. But he's still arguably the best target here. So we're going to keep going after this Panther. We'll do a precision strike.
I copy.
We could still put together a Panther later, so it's still worth getting this Panther.
Oh, yeah.
He's just less of a threat because his PPC is non-functional. I was wondering why he wasn't using his PPC. Alright, that Valiant's coming in. We have to be careful because that Valiant has really good melee ability for its tonnage. So we don't want to get into a position where we're brawling it with that Valiant. Alright, so let's move up our other Jenner. I do really like the Jenner early on. The key thing is for the Jenner, early on you want to actually strip off the jump jets and maximize armor to make him more of like a fast tank.
Good to go.
The jump jets really don't do you much early on. And I'm a big proponent of trading jump jets for either firepower or armor myself. It's never failed me to use that strategy. Now, if there are mechs that have jump jets that you cannot remove, I'm certainly not opposed to using those. But realistically, you really want to make sure, if it's a choice between jump jets and armor and firepower, I will take the firepower or armor every time over jump jets. The jump jets don't, especially if you already have a mech that has high mobility, which you do with the Jenner anyways.
On the clock.
The Jenner doesn't need jump jets. It can just run around at high speed and it will do just fine.
Let's make some bad decisions at high speed.
Alright, let's see if we can't keep finishing. We're so close to finishing off this Panther. Actually, let's do some multi-target here. So we'll hit the Panther, and we'll go ahead and hit that vehicle with our LRMs. Just trying to make the most bang for our buck out of every weapon here. Let's hear some noise from the chat. Let's hear what you think about what I'm doing. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions about BTA, if you just want to provide commentary to my action, that's fine.
Reporting.
Incidentally, we are open to having someone be the play-by-play commentator for our PvP showdown. If anybody's interested in that, please let me know. Ooh, alright, so this is a good opportunity for us to really use really good time for us to use all of our rockets on a hard hit on this Valiant here. So this Firebee, its main firepower comes from these rockets. We're going to use it because there's a high hit percent chance here.
Time to unload.
This is a good example of how some of these periphery mechs have a really high punch right out of the gate. Ooh, how many parts are we getting out of that Valiant? Only one.
My flamer is empty.
That's okay, I can live with that. Alright, thank you for following Sneaky Silk. Really appreciate you joining the family. Elox Coco, thank you for joining us. Kivis 1403, thank you for following us as well. Alright, alright. Okay, we can actually go in for a kick on this Panther. Oh, don't worry, Andre. Battletech Advanced only gets more interesting the more toys you have to play with. So don't worry about that issue at all. Alright, we're going to keep kicking this Panther. We're going to take it apart, try to get as many parts as we can because we've already won this battle. That one-shot kill on the Valiant was a real battle changer.
Valiant.
All right, he ejected 3 parts. Nice. There's so many ways to maximize
hear ya.
salvage in this game
Sprinting.
that maximizing salvage really becomes a game in and of itself. Trying to get every bit of good salvage and making sure that you minimize the bad salvage that gets into the salvage. It's absolutely an art. If there's mechs you don't want parts to, try to kill them with the center torso so you don't get a lot of parts.
Let's get down to it.
If there's mechs that you want parts for, then you obviously want to kill the pilot ideally to maximize salvage.
Let's see those.
We just have this lowly hover tank here. There we go. One other good thing about these early missions is
Mission
when you do a fresh
successful.
start, you can really push through a lot of missions quickly. You still want to do it smartly. So there we have no damage and no pilot injuries. And we got some really nice mech salvage for this level of our playthrough. Alright, so no damage. A little bit of armor damage, nothing too serious. Alright, we got the Panther. We'll take 2 parts of the Panther. Right, so we got 3 Panther parts and a Valiant part. We got a PPC. Ooh, 2 SRM-6s. That comes in handy. Really nice salvage there. So we're actually only 1 part away from getting new mechs. So we're starting out really strong here. Really, really strong. Alright, let's find ourselves another quick mission. Alright, we gotta defend the base. We gotta destroy the base. We've got a whole bunch of BTA missions. Let's do this assassinate mission. Might not do the BTA live fire exercise missions. We'll see. We're actually doing pretty good as far as C-bills right now, so I'm not a big fan. The BTA live fire exercise missions are great for new players who want to gain experience, but they're a little monotonous for me. They're a little repetitive, not the most challenging missions, so I don't know if we'll play those or not. We'll see. We're kind of doing a speed run through this planet right now. If we could get enough money that we can travel without doing those missions, then that's what we'll do. And we are just a couple pieces away from getting some new mechs, so I'm excited about that. Alright, come on chat. Does anybody want to use their channel points to either name a mech or name a pilot? The option is available. All you have to do is go below the chat. There's a little Alpha Strike button which looks like a bubble. And if you click on that, it will tell you all the things you can use your channel points. Oh, you're building up to it. Okay, Andre, no problem. I would suggest you save up for a pilot, Andre, myself. Want to remind everybody that's new, we do have a giveaway. So if you give us a follow, you are entered into our Funko Pop giveaway.
Command interface initiated.
Gonna be saving points for a while. Almost typed pints, which would have been almost as good. Ha ha ha. Nice. Nice. Well, it's a little early here, but pints are always good.
Rush.
Alright, so we got a target unit and the supporting forces. So let's go after the supporting forces
Good
first.
to go.
And the reason that we do that is because the target unit is almost always the mech on the mission that has the most salvage value. So we want to eliminate the other mechs so we can focus down on the assassination target. Number one, so he doesn't try to escape. But number two, because
I'm on the clock.
we
What do you
don't want... We want to maximize salvage on that
Alright,
assassination
let's get down
target.
to it.
Position
Sneaky,
confirmed.
where are you located that it is almost 3 p.m.? Are you, you wouldn't be in Australia, would you? I think it's that's too early to be in Australia. Oh, you're in the UK. Okay, that makes more sense. Always nice to have somebody
Good
from
to go.
the UK join us. One of the good things about our
Roger.
playing time, and just so you know, Sneaky, we play BattleTech Advanced every morning at the same time. So one of the good things about that is we get people from all over the world joining our streams because it's early in the East Coast in the United States, but it's still prime time in many parts of the country. Hey, iCypher! Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a couple days. I was actually wondering if everything was okay with you. I hadn't seen you in the stream for a while. Alright, so we're going to try to focus in on
Got it.
the left leg of this spider, because we've already done... Oh, I went to the wrong side.
Firing. All weapons.
Ah, Sneaky, so you moderate for folks over in Nashville and Kentucky. Wow. Well, we're always open to adding more moderators, so if you ever have an interest in moderating for us, you might have a full load of streams that you moderate for, but if you have ever have any interest, let me know.
No target.
Oh, no problem, iCypher. I just wanted to make sure you were okay, because you usually show up like clockwork, so I was surprised that we didn't see you for a couple days. I sent you a note in Discord, I think, just to make sure that you were okay.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Alright, let's keep working on this spider. Let's do Battlelord here. And again, the idea is to try to get one enemy down quickly so you can overwhelm the other enemies. Oh, yeah, we didn't get the hit I was hoping for there.
Clock. What do you want?
Was really hoping we'd finish off the leg. Alright.
Well, who needed salvage anyway?
Glad to hear everything's good, iCypher. And welcome back. We've got 8.3 here. Once we get a full house in the chat, I'm going to take a few minutes to
What's up, boss?
read the developer's notes for all the changes in the chat for 8.3. Alright, let's see if we can take out the leg here. I'm tired of playing around. Come on.
Targeting for
Hit the leg. Yes. Yes, down you go, little spider.
target.
There goes a lot of your evasion. Yes, very nice. Very nice. Alright, we got a javelin. The 10p is not horrible salvage. One of the cool things
For having all the armor.
is I like to start out in the periphery, so I started out with a Martian start this time. And the reason I like to do that is sometimes you get some really unique mechs to start things out. Let's go for some rear shots on this javelin. He didn't have a lot of armor, so that was going to be a quick
Target
kill.
neutralized.
The pirates definitely stuffed as many weapons in as they could and didn't worry about armor on that one. Oh, we have a support lance as well that just popped up on our scanners. Okay. Let's go for a kick here.
Engage
Let's
target.
kick this spider while he's down. I like to step on spiders personally. Both in real life and in Battletech, I like to stomp on spiders.
Reporting. Critical hit.
He's gonna get up. Is he gonna get up? No, that's the support lance. Okay, so the support lance is now in position to protect
Waiting
the
for
enemy assassination target, which tells me that they're leaving this spider out to die. Poor spider.
This is gonna be good.
I can see why people enjoy this line of work.
Just breathe hard on it and it will
Should've run
explode.
when you had the chance.
Alright, so we only got one part of salvage out of that spider, which is a good thing because it is not good salvage. So whenever you have a mech that you don't want to get salvage for, try to get as little parts as possible. And you can do that by going after the center torso. Because if you go for the head, if you get a head hit, you get at least 3 parts, sometimes 4. If you take off the legs, you get 3 parts. So really,
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
the best way to maximize salvage is for the mechs that you don't want a part of, only go for the center torso every time if you can. In fact, I'll use precision strikes to go for the torso just to maximize salvage on other mechs. Hey Steinen, thank you for joining us. Spiders are divine creatures. All kidding aside, I actually am one of the people who I don't kill spiders.
For orders.
Like, for example, if I come across them in my house, I will just leave them alone for the most part. Now, unfortunately, I do have a significant other who freaks out about spiders. So, I always have to take them outside just to make her happy.
Firing on target.
Oh, we got a flea. I wouldn't mind getting a flea, actually. If it has 4 times my legs, I'm out. But for those of you that don't know, I did spend 7 years in uniform, so I'm very comfortable around spiders, centipedes, anything that you see in the wild, because I've spent many a night sleeping in the middle of nowhere. So those creatures don't bother me because 99 times out of 100, nature's going to leave humans alone because we're too dangerous. So you don't really have to worry about nature as long as you don't piss nature off. If you piss nature off, it will come at you with a vengeance. Which is why when we were out in the desert, we would spend many a day. The first thing that you learned, and it was the first thing that new people had to learn, is when you get up in the morning, you're checking your boots to make sure there isn't a scorpion who has taken up residence in your boots. That's always a lot of fun. Alright, so we got a flea. Let's do a precision strike here. The flea doesn't have full evasion yet, so
Fun time.
it'd be nice if we could get a couple hits in here. Get some damage in on that flea. Yeah, I agree with you, Icipher.
What can I do for you?
Spiders are actually more of a positive than a negative. You just have to get over the fact that
Moving.
their strange body type just immediately causes humans to be very, very concerned. Alright, so we got an assassin. An assassin, a flea. Alright. Let's do a precision strike here. See if we can take a leg off that flea. So hard to take a flea apart because they're so small.
Yeah, critical hit.
It'd be nice if we could take a leg off this flea and get as many parts as possible. Hey, M. Simmons. A flea actually can be used for a lot of good things if you use it correctly. Did I just say a flea could be used for a lot of things if you use it correctly? That was the worst sentence ever. Thank you for joining us as always, M. Simmons.
Got something you want done? Coordinates received.
Right. Let's do precision strike here. Best case scenario is we take off the leg here, but most likely we're going to kill the flea. Let's throw a couple of rocket launchers into the mix here. Ugh. I was really hoping we'd take out the leg there. Oh, he ejected. Three parts. So, ironically, that flea is now our best salvage, in my opinion. Fleas are hard to find, and they're really good scouts. So, I'd like to get the flea. I like the flea more than I like this assassin here.
Target damaged.
Oh, that's our primary target is the flea. Okay. Or the assassin, sorry. I didn't notice the plus icon.
Ready to rock.
All right. All right, so let's get a Jenner in
Copy
here.
that, Commander.
The biggest threat for these assassination missions is if your primary target tries to run away. So I like to put a fast mech next to the primary target so we can always have the ability to outrun the assassination target if need be. So that's what that Jenner is going to do. Hey Steinen 86. This is a fresh replay too, so I just started this replay with the stream yesterday. So this is as close to a fresh start as you can get. After this mission, I'm going to take a few minutes to go over the developer notes for the update for this mod and let you know what's in the mod with the 5.3 update. Or sorry, the 8.3 update. I remember the 5.3 update. Those were the good old days.
I'm on the clock.
So, in fact, it does seem like the 0.3 update for every every round of updates tends to be one of the bigger updates. It's probably just a coincidence, but I remember 7.3 was also a big update as well. We got probably a vehicle, probably a missile boat in the rear. Okay, so again, we do not want our assassination target to escape.
Aye, aye.
And I don't really care about salvage on a assassin, so we're going to go with our missiles, try to take this guy out quickly. With our rocket launcher, trying to do damage to that center torso as much as we can, so we can get rid of this guy with as little salvage as possible. Posture check. Am I slouching? M. Simmons, are you going to use some of your channel points to name a pilot or a mech? You have the ability to do both. So please check out those options. I want to try to populate our barracks with as many of our stream followers as possible. So
Yup.
please consider saving up those points for... I don't want to go for a punch. Actually, I don't mind going for a punch here because we want to maximize salvage.
Affirmative.
So if we go for a punch here, it will do damage to the center torso as opposed to the legs,
Critical hit.
which is what we want.
Dang. That's a miss.
We also don't want this assassin to start running away. M. Simmons, you are a character.
What can I do for you?
You are still on a cooldown for your Funko Pop. Now, M. Simmons, since you redeemed the Funko Pop last stream, but you're on a cooldown for the Funko Pops, would you like to use those Funko Pop points to name a pilot? We can do that after this mission. Because I can't give you 2 or 3 Funko Pops a month, or you're going to bankrupt our channel. But I will let you name a pilot after this mission if you'd like. Because you are on a 30-day cooldown. You can only get a Funko Pop once every 30 days.
I'm taking a pounding, Commander.
Otherwise, we won't be here. I'll be living in a box down by the river if I give you that many Funko Pops.
Alright, let's get down to it. The cream of the crop will rise to the top.
Okay, so M. Simmons is going to name a pilot on his... So, M. Simmons, you can either name it after yourself, or you can give it a different name.
See why people enjoy this.
So between now and the end of the mission, try to figure out how you want to name
Try aiming
your
next
pilot.
time. See what you get.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, let's go with... let's go with a kick here. No. Because I want to do a punch, because we want to minimize salvage on the assassin.
Moving out.
Assassin isn't something I can use long term, so that's why I want to try to get as little parts from the assassin as possible. He's going to start to run away pretty soon. Alright, we're going to go for the punch to minimize salvage. Hoping we could just take out the center torso here. We missed.
Reporting. Taking some damage.
Ready to rock.
Alright, again, this is going to be repetitive, but we're doing this for a reason, because we don't want salvage on this assassin. Because there's better things that I want salvage from. I'd even take salvage from the Jenner before the assassin.
That hit.
There we go, we got a knockdown.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, now we're going to have to go for kicks, unfortunately. Which increases the chances... it's not going to let us... It's not going to let us go for a kick. Alright, so we're going to shoot for the center torso here. Again, trying to maximize or minimize the parts we get from this assassin.
Commencing Alpha Strike. That's a critical hit.
Right. I want to know where the rest of this enemy support lance is. They're kind of leaving their commander out to dry. You think they would be here fighting to save their commander, but nope. They must be mercenaries, and they see the writing on the wall, and they're just bailing out. I think it'd be cool if the enemy just tried to evacuate occasionally. Oh, all targets eliminated.
Mission
But
successful.
there was a couple... I guess the support lance was not required to complete the mission. Alright, this is going to be 3 good missions where we've gotten some really nice salvage in a row. All right, so we're getting a nice payout. No injuries or damage, so we're just cruising through this playthrough. All right, I'm going to take the flea because it's the most valuable to me long term. And hopefully we'll get some more flea parts. No, a spider part. All right, so that was not a good salvage roll right there. We've had much better salvage rolls than that. All right, so we got a couple of things to go through here. So what I was thinking about, Ensteinen, I wish you had an option to call, like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been fighting a pilot, and I'm like, wow, that is a really good pilot. I wish I could hire him. So I wish you could call him on the radio and say, hey, I'll give you 200,000 C-bills. You could come work for me. You bring your mech over, and nobody has to die. So I think that would be cool if you could hire the enemy pilot instead of killing them. That's just something that I think would be really cool. All right, so let's go to the barracks. M. Simmons, you can choose between Jelly here. And you can rename Jelly,
Yes,
Junker, Taboo.
Yes, Commander.
Wait, that's a girl? All right, I'm confused. So this clearly looks like a guy, but the name is Jennifer Ruiz. So I don't know if this is my first transgender pilot. I don't know. But you can change Taboo, Junker,
Standing by.
or
Commander?
Jelly. Jelly has the best stats. So M. Simmons, who do you want? Who do you want to choose? Waiting for M. Simmons to choose which pilot to rename. Okay, so you want to go with Jelly. Alright, so we're going to customize Jelly here. Alright, so what do you want the call sign to be? Do you want to go with M. Simmons? Do you want to go with a different call sign? What? Tortured Lemming. Okay, okay. Alright, Tortured Lemming it is. Tortured Lemming. Alright, Tortured Lemming. Do you want to change the first name or the last name? And do you want to change it to male or female? You can change it however you want. However I can change it, I will change it for you. Do you want to change the first name or the last name, or do you want to turn it from a he to a she? Okay, so we're going to switch it to male. And let's do a dice. Do you want to just do a dice roll to give it a male name? We can call it Frederick Pilot Wowski. That's a cool name. Frederick Pilot Wowski. Does that name work for you, Simmons? Sure. Okay. Let's see if we can make this as manly as we can. Let's change the hairstyle. Yeah. Change the eyebrows. How about some facial hair? Oh! How about a Fu Manchu mustache and beard? How do you like that, M. Simmons? I think that's a cool look. That's definitely a pretty cool look. Does that work for you, M. Simmons? I think that's hilarious right there. He's got the Fu Manchu mustache and a beard. Oh, you want clean shaven? Okay. We'll go with clean shaven. Right, there's a hairstyle that looks a little bit more manly. There we go. How about that, M. Simmons? Yeah, you can't change the base picture. You can only vary it. So I'm trying to make this as, he looks pretty manly now. So does that work, M. Simmons? I want you to feel like you're getting your money's worth with those channel points. Does that work for you? Okay, good. All right, we're done with that pilot. So what I want to do now that we have a lot of our regulars here, I want to go through the changes to the mod. So I'm going to go through the changes to 8.3. I'm going to give you the short version. If you want to go to the long version, you can go to the BTA Discord. That'll give you a full summary. So the new additions, Clan Diamond Shark has one planet on the map, Twycross. It's blue in color. Basically, Diamond Shark won't give you missions, but they will sell you almost anything that's clan. Every non-faction specific clan mech can be purchased there, including the Mad Cat Mark II. So you can go to Clan Diamond Shark on Twycross and buy mechs. Next, Clan Nova Cat is given space in the Draconis Combine, and you can run missions with them, and you can be allied with them. They also have some clan tech available for sale. The biggest thing in this mod is new functionality. Lambs have been overhauled. They now transform between Battletech and Air Mech mode. In Battletech mode, they're just a normal mech. In Air Mech, they transform models to their plane-looking models and become extremely fast and ignore terrain, but are also fragile and easily knocked down. Okay? Then we have some new mech models. And that's basically the summary. So the biggest thing in this update is, of course, the addition of the lambs. So that is the big update. But the fact that we have two new clan, or the addition of the lambs that can actually fly, is the biggest part of the update. So then we also have the fact that there's two new clans available on the map, which is really cool. So nice upgrades. I want to give a shout out to the BTA team for continuing to put out one of the best mods in the business. No offense to other mods that are out there, but I feel like BTA does a good job of giving us an update every single month, in some cases 2 a month. And in fact, in this month, I think we've had 3. So I think it's really good. All right, so now we have Tortured Lemming as our new pilot for M. Simmons. Does anybody else want to name a pilot? If not, we will just jump into the next mission. All right, so do we have anything in the mech bay? I don't think we have anything in the mech bay we can put together. We do not, but we're multiple parts. We're only a part away from a fire starter, a panther, 2 parts away from a stinger lamb, and 2 parts away from a hornet. So we're actually close to getting some new mechs. So let's jump into a mission, because that's what we're here for. Okay. Let's go with a defend the base mission. These are great ways to get salvage. So we're going to stay with our same mechs and pilots. Thank you for the follow, Sniley97. Steinen87 says BTA vehicles seem a bit over the top. They have many weapons, a lot of armor, and lots of speed that quickly builds evasion. They don't use heat, cannot panic, ignore stability, and cannot be evasively stripped with kicks. Melee doesn't do double damage against them anymore. What are their weaknesses? So, Steinen, I think you bring up a very good point, and you're actually correct. So, for their tonnage, I would say that vehicles are more dangerous ton for ton than mechs in this game. As far as your opposition. Now, the biggest thing that the vehicles do is they spin very well to make sure that you get
Command interface initiated.
as much as they rotate to use as much of their armor as possible. So the only weakness that a vehicle has is if you focus fire on it with multiple mechs and you take them down on one side of their armor all at once as quickly as possible. That's the best way to take down mechs. Alright, so this is actually a pretty good map for defend the base. Alright, so we got 5 mechs. The enemy typically comes from 3 directions on this map. They come down this road, they come up this hill, and they come down from this part with a drop from a leopard. So we're going to have probably 3 waves of enemies here. Alright, so our fire bee... let's...
Confirm.
So as far as weaknesses for vehicles, the only weakness they have is if you focus fire on them and get multiple mechs to shoot at them and get through the armor quickly.
Receiving you. Skipper?
I don't have a problem with the
Orders.
with the melee system, to be honest with you. I think it works pretty well. It certainly works a lot better. So my friend and I were playing PvP Vanilla BattleTech yesterday, and it was amazing to see what it was like playing old school. Oh man. Alright, our Jenner is stuck on top of a building, so our Jenner basically has become a turret now, so that's not good.
I hear ya.
And we can't do a restart. That's another thing with this update, is it no longer allows you to do a restart mission button. So we would have to reload the drop to get my Jenner off of that building. So we're just going to do the best we can
I'm on the clock.
with the Jenner stuck on that building. Basically, the Jenner just became a turret.
Let's make some
Not the
bad
ideal
decisions
situation, but I
fast.
think we'll be okay. Especially if we get our turrets going. Steinen says, I remember having a Wolverine with melee mods running around and stomping vehicles before the melee update. Not sold on the new melee system. So, yeah, I mean, every update in this mod is going to have good and bad. But I think the good, like for every update, I would say the new things are 20 times better than the bad things. So you just kind of have to take it in stride. I know Bloody Doves, who's the primary developer, has long felt that vehicles were nerfed to the point that they were just comical before. So I actually find the fact that vehicles that are harder to kill are actually actually a positive because it makes things a little bit more challenging. Now remember, the vehicles and their quirks come from the community
I copy.
asset bundle, which is a global bundle which is used for all of the mods for BattleTech. So, you know, the vehicles are going to be the same in this mod as they are in RogueTech and Expanded 3025. So that's a global change for all mods, that vehicles are definitely harder to kill than they are in vanilla BattleTech. I remember vanilla BattleTech, you could pretty much just stomp on vehicles and get one stomp kills every
Ready
time.
for orders.
Now, I did like, that was very helpful back when you're doing Attack the Convoy missions, which is one of the reasons why Attack the Convoy missions are not really viable anymore. Alright, so we got a Fire Bee and a Stinger Lamb. Let's try to take the Stinger Lamb out as quickly as we can. Was hoping for more there. So Andre, there have been more mission types added with the mods. If you really look at it, vanilla BattleTech versus regular BattleTech, the mods actually do give us a much wider array of missions. And I know that they do try to add on some as the opportunity presents itself, but creating new mission types is limited by the base coding of the base game, and also they are very time consuming.
Waiting for orders.
So, I mean, I think they do a good job of adding in a fair amount of additional missions to the mods. I know RogueTech has a whole bunch of different mission types. I think Sneaky could probably give me some clarification on that. It's been a while since I played RogueTech, but I've watched some streams, and they have a large number of different mission types in RogueTech. But RogueTech is a very different game than BattleTech or BTA. You only play RogueTech if you are a very, very experienced player with mods, because it is a very, very sharp learning curve in RogueTech.
I'm on the clock.
I've done it. I've enjoyed RogueTech. I still think RogueTech is a great game. I'm just not very happy with the community for RogueTech, which is why I play BattleTech Advance more than I play this. Alright, let's do some multi-target here. Let's see if we can finish off that Wasp. And then we'll put everything else into that Fire Bee.
Roger that.
M. Simmons, yeah, MechWarrior 5. There's a lot of things in MechWarrior 5 that I think they could actually put in place pretty quickly. So one of the things I liked in the first missions of MechWarrior 5 is they did have those mech repair bays that you could use once per mission per mech. But they only had that on one mission, and then it went away. So it'd be cool if we could see that, and I also think there should be catches of additional stuff in storehouses. That would be cool. So yeah, I mean,
Get it on.
I've never had a problem with RogueTech. I think RogueTech is a great mod. But again, and I've probably said this a few times, so I don't want to, harp on the issue. But I don't like the overall feeling of the community in Rogue Tech. The developers are not exactly friendly with some of their users. It's kind of like a use it or don't use our mod, or don't use our mod. We don't want input. We don't want any questions. We don't want to help you necessarily with our mod. It's pretty much, if you can't use it, it's your problem. We're not going to really help you very much. So, whereas BattleTech Advanced has a very inclusive community where even the developer, I can reach out to the developer of Rogue Tech or BattleTech Advanced and just ask a question, and he's always happy to interact with me and answer my questions. Whereas I've had a much different situation with the Rogue Tech developers. They're not nearly as friendly and helpful.
Targeting for a physical attack.
So, for me it was more about the community than the mod. I like playing Rogue Tech just fine. I think it's a very challenging mod, and there's really cool stuff in there, but the community is not as friendly as I would like. I like to support developers that are friendly and helpful to their community, not divisive and not so friendly. That's what it comes down to. I mean, I could play. I've played Expanded 3025. I've played Rogue Tech. I've played BattleTech Advanced. I've played all of the mods pretty much for BattleTech, and I just find that I like to support the BattleTech Advanced community because it's a very friendly community of people. New users are welcomed in and helped without a lot of drama and negativity. It's just a good place to be. All right, we can actually put together a Stinger Lamb here, which I now want because yeah, Sneaky, that's true. So I'm actually going to start my play of Elite Dangerous shortly. I was going to start it this week, but then I switched to a new streaming computer, and I want to make sure I have enough RAM to play Elite Dangerous well. So hopefully next week I'm going to start my long-awaited Elite Dangerous adventures.
All right, let's get down to it.
But that's the type of interaction that you're talking about with Elite Dangerous we get with the BattleTech Advanced community. Oh, I know, Sneaky, you could play Elite Dangerous with less RAM, but I want to play... Elite Dangerous has such a visual scope and quality that I want to make sure that I'm playing Elite Dangerous with my top-of-the-line graphics card and plenty of RAM to really maximize the experience. Alright, this mission's going pretty smoothly here.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts.
Here we go. Here's the enemy reinforcements. So I'm going to have to start dividing my forces to fend off that second enemy force that's coming in. Good thing I have that Jenner turret sitting there. Alright, so we got a couple light mechs. Nothing too... Oh, there's a hunchback though. That's a legitimate threat.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, so we got a fire beat. Oh, we've got enemies coming from this direction too. Oh, alright. This just got real, folks. We've got some significant enemy forces here. So we got a wasp and a flea. Remember, I'm one part away from getting a flea. Let's do a precision strike here with our rocket launchers. Maybe we can get a quick kill on Flea here. We did a lot of damage,
My
though.
flamer is empty.
Alright, luckily we have turrets to help us with these, because now we're being attacked by on three sides. We still have this fire bee to deal with. Looks like it has a rocket launcher and a PPC.
You can see daylight through my armor.
Okay. Alright, so Jenner, your job is going to be to finish off this fire bee. That's your job.
On my way.
Okay, Sneaky Silk, see you when you come back. Alright. Alright, chat, we've got multiple enemies coming at me from multiple directions, so I want some feedback from the chat room. If you guys have any suggestions, right now is the time to give it to me.
Ready to rock.
Alright, so our Jenner that was stuck on a building at least could be a turret here for us. Yeah, we're going to have to focus in on this Jenner.
Here we go.
That's a nasty Jenner, actually. That's good salvage. Hopefully we could get some hunchback parts there. Ah, thanks IMG, and IMG, welcome to the party. I was telling everybody that we're getting closer to setting up our PvP challenge. We're working out the details and the date, and we should have some more details for everybody tomorrow about when we're doing that.
Waiting for orders.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We had a playthrough the other day. I'm not ashamed to admit that
Sprinting.
IMG did win a very close battle, but we didn't really select the mechs, and we weren't using the restrictions that we were going to use. But he did beat me in a very close match yesterday. So I think PvP is going to be a lot of fun for us. If you guys enjoy it, oh boy, here we go. Was it close? You know what? It could have gone either way with a couple of those AC shots going one way instead of the other IMG. So don't get too ahead of yourself. Although if you want to get overconfident before our matchup, then you certainly can do that. But I think it's going to be a very close affair. I'm excited about it. All kidding aside, IMG did win in our testing round. Oh, you can have fun at my expense. Hey, to the winner goes the spoils. And right now, a Merlin. Oh my goodness, we have a Merlin on the field. Wait, no, that's a Javelin? Oh, okay, I thought it was a Merlin for a second. Alright, so we gotta focus down on this hunchback here. Alright, let's see. Let's do a time check here. Yep, still have a good hour and a half to play. IMG. I'm really excited about this updated mod. I just went through all of the changes. I don't know if you heard it or not, but the BTA team did a really great job with this update. IMG, do you want to use some of your channel points to name a mech today? Or name a pilot today? We've had a lot of fun with that. M. Simmons has named a pilot today. and a skewed one named a pilot yesterday.
Waiting for orders.
All right.
Waiting for
All
orders.
right. So this is a case where
Orders.
one of the benefits of these defend the base missions is they'll kind of ignore you
Go.
to focus on attacking the base. So can we be a little aggressive here
Let's move.
and see if we can't finish off that flea? 30% chance of a hit. You know what? Let's do a precision strike. Alright, IMG. That's right, you did name a mech yesterday. That's true.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Besides, I think having IMG in my barracks is just going to remind me about how badly he beat me yesterday in that testing round. But that's okay. It was just one round. I'll admit I was overconfident, and I'm ready for a rematch.
I got a heap of trouble here. Commander.
Alright. Alright, let's keep kicking this fire bee.
Locked on for physical attack.
Alright, nice hit. Alright, Panther, okay. We're one part away from getting a Panther. So we're actually one part of getting a lot of mechs. Alright, our Jenner's still stuck here on top of a building. So he's our last line of defense
Firing.
against this enemy force that's coming in here. Good hits on the Javelin. Thank you for following, Sayanki. Really appreciate that. Nah, I think the Jenner will be okay.
Hey, watch the paint, pal.
One of the biggest changes in the update, IMG, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but you can no longer restart a mission. So if you want to do a restart on a mission, you have to actually reload the game, which is a pain. Alright. Ooh, this wasp needs to go down. Come on. Nice hits on that wasp. There we go. There goes a wasp.
That's a kill.
Hey guys, what does the descriptor primitive mean? So
Try an egg in here.
basically the primitive mech refers to like a prototype
Internal damage.
level of the mech. So it has downgraded internal structure and it has downgraded weapons. So it's just not, it's an inferior version of the base mech. The one good part is that you could still use a primitive mech as a part to build a full mech, if that makes sense. You don't want it, but you can still use it as a part to put together the non-primitive version of the mech. So it's kind of like a downgraded version. You see it a lot in the periphery, and you'll see it a lot in the non-successor state territories. It's definitely an inferior mech, but you can still use the parts to build a perfectly functioning regular mech. Yeah, so Steinen 86. So you could take two primitive Shadowhawk parts and combine it with two regular Shadowhawk parts, and you could still get a full Shadowhawk. Now, if you did 3 primitive parts and 1 Shadowhawk part that's regular, then you would get a primitive Shadowhawk. So that's kind of the salvage quirk there that you have to deal with. Alright, that Firebee needs to die. Alright, we still have 6 more rounds of this mission. Right. Alright, I want to get the flea parts. I want to get that flea.
My heat's getting pretty high.
You know, if you told me I could have a flea or a locust, I'll take a flea any day of the week. Ouch. Ouch, Pokey is getting poked a lot
I just
in this
dropped
mission.
my cup.
Ready for orders.
Alright, Firebee, let's see if we can finish off that flea.
Affirmative.
Really like this Firebee to die. Alright, good. Thank you, Sneaky, again for joining our stream. It's always great to have some new people stop by and say hello. Thank you for the follow, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Ready for orders.
Alright, so that part of the map is now clear, so we need to actually get some forces to deal with this heavy enemy lance that dropped in behind the base. So we're going to sprint everybody towards that javelin and the hunchback. It's probably the biggest threats here. Definitely the hunchback. But they're throwing some nasty mechs at us here for our level.
Internal damage. Orders.
Right, our Jenner is really getting beat up because he can't move from the top of this building. But he's going to have to hang in there strong and keep this hunchback at bay for a while. While we get some reinforcements. Ooh, head hit. Nice. So for these defend the base missions, I don't worry so much about salvage as with the other missions, because
Commander?
if the enemy destroys your base, you're done. So defending the base is more important than salvage on these missions. Come on, eject, flea. Eject. Or die. One of the two. So Steinen, the Jenner, I actually took the jump jets off. That was by design, because early on in your playthroughs, if you take the jump jets off of a mech and switch it with armor, you're going to be much more successful than using the jump jets, especially with the Jenner,
All the alarms are going off.
because the Jenner has plenty of armor. We're going to have to pull Pokey back here, because Pokey is getting poked way too much. Let's pull Pokey back. Alright, let's do a precision strike here. The reason I'm doing that is I'm hoping I can just get rid of this javelin. Yeah, Steinen, that's a possibility. But it doesn't happen very often that the jump jet is that big of a deal. So I'd actually rather have the armor. IMG, yeah, I did finish the MechWarrior 5 campaign. When it first came out, I pushed through to the end. Yeah, I think it would actually be a fun playthrough So IMG and I play Mech Warrior 5 one day a week. Did you use the 2 mech repair? Yeah, I did. I remember using... actually, I can't remember. I don't remember there being repair bays in the last mission. I remember using the repair bay on the first mission. I don't remember it on the other ones, but it's been quite some time. If it was there, I would guess that I used it, but I can't remember. I can't remember. I think it'd be fun, IMG, if we got the Mech Warrior 5 playthrough that we have, maybe do a restart and then actually try to focus on completing the campaign with human pilots. I think that would be fun. I think that would be a fun playthrough for us. All right, we got to keep pushing in
Good to go.
our second Jenner here to help with this large enemy force here. Yeah, I remember that last mission, IMG. I remember it probably took me like... I want to say it took me 7 or 8 times to complete that last mission for Mech Warrior 3. Or 5.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Alright. Alright. Need to get that hunchback down. Let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, when you're Andre, when you buy Mech Warrior 5, I'm sure we could put you into the rotation for our playthroughs for Mech Warrior 5. One of the things for Mech Warrior 5, Andre, if you want to play with us, you're going to have to be on mic in Discord. So if that's okay with you, then I'm sure we could work you into the rotation. And that's because it's a lot more fun for the audience if they can hear the interaction of the pilots in Mech Warrior 5. Because we have a lot of fun. If you've seen our streams, we really have a lot of fun. Alright, let's go for a kick on this Panther.
Coordinates received. Ugh!
Yeah, IMG does lose a lot of body parts on our playthroughs.
You could fry an egg in here!
I think that's a fair statement.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Alright. Okay, Pokey.
Alright, let's get down to it.
Pokey's got to stay out of the fight because he's got a lot of damage here. Let's see if we can finish off that javelin maybe. Ouch! Ouch!
That hit me.
Ow, that hurt my Jenner. Alright, so fortunately the AI overheated there in its hunchback. But we're taking a lot of damage on our Jenner that's stuck on the building. So going back to Steinen's comment, in this situation, probably one jump jet would be helpful.
Reporting. Serious armor loss.
Orders.
Alright.
Location confirmed.
Let's do precision strike. It'd be nice if we could knock down this Panther.
Engaging target.
Come on. Oh, we got a we took out a torso, but we didn't take out a leg. Yes, IMG, I know that's why you lose your arms. I'm just giving you a hard time. If you could give me a hard time about what you did to me the other day, or yesterday, I could give you a hard time about Mech Warrior 5. It's all fun and games. Alright, let's go for the head on this Hunchback.
Confirmed.
Because he's shut down, so let's go for the head. And he already has one head injury.
Confirmed.
Alright. Alright, we're going to take a chance with Coach for one more round because this Hunchback is shut down. Ha 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 ha! Very funny, M. Simmons. Very funny.
Commander?
Alright, let's keep working on this Panther. We're going to take out his leg at some point. Alright, they're slowly taking our buildings apart, but we should be okay.
On the clock. What do you want?
Alright, Pokey. Can you please finish up? Well, no, see, the hit percent chances are going to be much better. Alright, let's go for the head on the Hunchback, see if we get lucky. I'd love to get a couple parts of this Hunchback. Nope, no joy there.
Well, who needed salvage?
You always, yeah, IMG, I wouldn't mind a rematch. Well, we're going to have a rematch when we have our head-to-head challenge. So, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. So, what we're going to do with our head-to-head challenge, we're still figuring out exactly what day. But we're going to break it up in multiple weeks. So the first week is going to be our first two challenges, which is going to be lights versus lights. And then we're going to add mediums to the mix for the second round. So you can use mediums and lights in the second round.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, let's actually... we're going to sprint up the Firebee here because I want to take another shot at the head of that Hunchback before he's mobile again. Alright, good hit on the Hunchback. Alright, that Panther's gotta go.
Commander.
It is a real headache. Let's put our Jenner in between the base and the Hunchback. Oh! How many parts? How many parts? Oh, only one part of the Hunchback. Oh, that figures.
Things can't bend fast enough.
But the good news is that we got rid of the Hunchback, which was probably the biggest threat to our base there. This Javelin's still alive. Ooh, oh, our Jenner needs to be evacuated.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
Alright, Coach, you need to eject now. Because I don't want to completely rebuild the Jenner. Alright.
Good to go.
Alright, let's keep working on that Panther. Ugh, we keep hitting the wrong leg. Alright, there we go. We got another pilot injury.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Alright, Pokey, can you please finish off that
Alright,
javelin?
Let's get down to it.
Please finish off that javelin. No. So this is one of the problems with the Dervish, is once the Dervish suffers enough damage that he's got structural damage, you kind of have to back it off and use it as fire support. Because you don't want a Dervish to be fighting in a brawling match. It's going to lose. It just doesn't have the armor to stay into a fight like that. Alright, good. There goes the Panther. So we can at least put a Panther together after this mission. So it wasn't a total loss. Although you could argue I've got to repair a Jenner to get a Panther. I still think that's a benefit because we didn't lose the Jenner. We just have to repair it. Yes, IMG. That's why you have to be careful with Dervishes once they has suffered damage, because they will rock you. One of the biggest challenges IMG had and I had in our PvP playthrough yesterday was the fact that you can't sprint, because we have to use regular Battletech for our head-to-head matchup, and you can't sprint and fire at the same time. So it's a real challenge to use those old
Negative damage. Repeat. Negative damage.
vanilla rules.
Aye, aye.
It definitely made things a bit of a challenge. I'm not going to lie. And I'm glad that didn't count as part of our challenge, IMG. Because you remembered a little better than I did. Probably because it's been longer for me since I played vanilla than I think it's been longer for you. I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to explain why it's... I need to rethink some of my strategy.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, that Raven definitely was a little overpowered.
Moving fast.
But that's okay. Yep, that's how... Yep, so the Raven can be a little overpowered. Which brings me to a question for IMG in the chat. Since we're playing Vanilla Battletech, should we allow the Raven to be used in our head-to-head matchup? Because it's a little overpowered, I think. But, you know, I'll let IMG in the chat weigh in on that. If we want to use the Raven, we can. But it might be more realistic if you just... if we took the Raven out of the mix and only used mechs other than the Raven in our matchup. So, IMG, I'll let you decide what you want to do with that. Yeah, there are ways to counter the Raven, but the thing is, I had heavier mechs, so I didn't really have a mech that could counter the Raven, because you need very different strategies when you're playing against the Raven. Alright. That Javelin's getting a little close to my Dervish. It's making me nervous. You need that Javelin to go bye-bye. Alright, there we go. Mission successful. So IMG, I'll let you decide if you want to use the Raven. We can use the Raven in our matchup, or we can say that the Raven is a unseen mech that cannot be used in our matchup. I'm fine either way. There are ways that you can use the Raven. There's ways that you can counter the Raven. You know, obviously one way you can counter a Raven is with another Raven. So, alright, so we got damage to all of our mechs pretty much on this mission. Oof. We've got some repairs to do, people. But on the good news, let's see, we are getting a Hunchback parts. We can get a Panther out of this mission. And I'm 2 parts away from getting a Stinger Lamb, which I'm curious about playing with, but I also want to get a Flea. So we'll take the Flea part. You know what? We're going to take the Stinger part just because I want to see if I can put a Lamb together. Andre, one of the things we don't like to talk about on the channel, if it's okay with you, is politics and religion. Those are 2 things that we don't like to talk about on the stream. If that's okay with you, I'd like to not have those discussions in the channel. Not a big deal, but it's just not something we want to talk about here. No big deal, Andre. Don't be upset. Don't think that I'm mad at you. It's just not something we talk about on the channel because politics and religion are 2 of the topics that always are going to upset somebody. So Firebee, Flea, Hunchback, Panther, Stinger, Wasp. Okay. Alright, so we got some new mechs to play with here. Alright. So we might be able to put... We're going to put together a Lamb so we could play with it with the new mod. It should be fun. So IMG, I don't know if you've had... Let's see. So yeah, IMG, that was a good example of how light mechs can effectively attack medium and heavy mechs and be successful. You did a really good job with that matchup. Andre, don't worry about it. Alright, let's go to the mech bay. We got a lot of mechs to repair here. Alright. Luckily, the Dervish only needs 3 days. Not too bad. Let's see. Our Jenner needs 1 day. Our Firebee needs 1 day. The Jenner... Oof. Alright, so the Jenner is going to take 9 days. Alright. Heat sink. And our medium lasers. Okay, not too bad for being stuck on top of a building. So, Andre, don't worry about that question. Let's just consider it water under the bridge. I'm not offended at all. And if you want to talk about that in a private message, we can certainly do that. But we just don't want to talk about that on the stream. I'm sure you understand. So, alright, so we got some mechs to repair. Now, it's time for us to play with Alright, so I could put together a Stinger Lamb. Let's see. Trio of medium lasers, or we can get a trio of machine guns. Yeah, we're gonna take the Lamb. Now, normally I would build the Panther first, but the reason I'm building the Lamb is because I want to play with it. So let's build the Stinger Lamb. Ta-da! We have our first Lamb. So we've got our Lamb here, so we can actually transform and fly this Lamb around like a Veritech or like a Transformer. So that is why I wanted to put that together. Alright, so we need the Jenner, the Firebee, and the Clint at least. Actually, we should probably wait a full 3 days, or a full 5 days. Here. Jenner, Clint, let's get our Dervish. Okay, so now we've got in the mech bay. Alright, we got a skewed one. Let's give a skewed one multi-target. And some piloting.
Mech warrior training.
Some of our best
Aye, aye.
pilots are out right now, so we're going to have to be creative about what we can do here.
Training complete.
Oh, the developers added more contracts on the planet. So let's take a look at what you're talking about.
I hear ya.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I'm on the clock.
Let me-
What do you want?
Let's upgrade our
Training
pilots
confirmed.
here, and then I'll look
How
at
might I
the
help?
mission choices.
Good to go.
All right, Tortured Lemming, which was
Mech warrior training complete.
named by M. Simmons, is now arguably our best pilot. Yep, right now, pound for pound, that is our best pilot. So let's look at the command center. Andre, you said there was... Yeah, so this is really weird. I think this is a glitch because it duplicated all the BTA. You could probably take all these missions and have a fortune in C-bills. So I think this is a glitch. Unless the BTA team wanted you to be able to play this live fire exercise as much as you want, I think it's just a glitch. Alright, so we've got one more mission on this planet. That's Deniable Destruction. So let's take that mission, including... we're taking our brand new Lamb. So, let's see. We'll put T-Bone in Pokey here. And then we're going to take our Lamb. Now, our Lamb has a lot of special traits. So we want a good pilot in the Lamb. So we might want to actually switch out. Let's switch out our Scout. And we'll put Junker in the Firebee. And we'll put our Scout in the Lamb. And let's go. Alright, it's our first playthrough with a Lamb. So let's try to figure this out together. So it's not going to be a Lamb that just jumps around, which is what we're used to. The Lamb can transform into jet mode and be very fast and maneuverable. I need a good pilot and everybody's injured. Yep. So luckily my Scout was available to be our pilot for the Stinger. Oh, so moving a mech from storage to the mech bay does take time. So if you put it together, the mech is ready instantly, which I could argue isn't really realistic. If you play Rogue Tech, if you put the mech together, and I think Expanded 3025 too, you still need the time to put the weapons on. But when you move a mech to storage, all the components are taken off, and when you take it in from storage to the mech bay, the time it takes to get the mech back up is supposed to represent the time it takes to put the mech back together. So it's an opportunity cost to put your mech into storage.
Command interface initiated.
All right. Yeah, so nothing's changed. No. Okay. All right.
I think we've just stepped in some
Where's our lamb?
shit.
All right. Here's Pacifist. Pacifist is in our lamb. Now, there should be like a transform. Okay, so when you push the avionics button, can you see that? So our Stinger Lamb transformed into a fighter plane. Let's see if I can do it in reverse, just so you guys can see this. Let's see. Okay. So it doesn't cost us anything to transform. It doesn't cost us a turn. So we can transform from the plane to the mech, and it doesn't cost us a turn. That's really cool. So now you can see the lamb. Look how fast the lamb can go. It has the speed of a fighter plane. But it's also going to be very vulnerable, so we have to use this carefully. So let's do a move up just to see what we're up against. So you can see the lamb is moving
Right, Commander.
up. It's basically scouting the area for
Roger
us.
that.
This is going to be a really interesting mech to use when it comes to strategy. It really becomes the best scout you can have in the game when you think about it.
Awaiting orders.
But these things are very fragile. Alright, so let's sprint. We want to keep the evasion as high as possible. So let's keep the evasion at 8. It's not letting me finish the move here. There we go. Alright, no. I can't turn all the way around? No. So facing is kind of a challenge here. Let's see. We want to save enough movement points that we can change our facing. Okay, so as you can see, our evasion is still 8, but we're going to be very fragile in robot mode or in plane mode. So we have to be very careful about that. So, what do we want to do? We got a wolfhound, a scorpion, a turret, another turret. So one thing you could do here is you can actually use the lamb to try to start to clear out some of the turrets while your lance comes to the enemy base. I've never played the lamb before, so we're going to have to figure out this strategy together. Yeah, so that goggles, that's one of the challenges. You don't want to put a mech into the mech bay or into storage unless you're really sure that you don't want to use it in the near future. Alright, so the good thing is with this lamb flying around,
Taking the stop.
it does give us vision on the map
Failed to connect.
at very long range. So I could see how you could combine a LAM with an LRM or artillery mech, and you could really clean house on a map before you even get close to the enemy. This is going to be fun.
Got it.
Alright, so it's going to take a while for the rest of our lance to catch up with the lamb. Ooh, the wolfhound. Is the wolfhound going after our lamb? Let's see what happens. Yep. Alright, so see the lamb, his armor
Great hit, Commander.
takes a hard hit there because even though he's evasive, he just doesn't have the same armor he has when he's on the ground. Not that a Stinger has that much armor anyways. So we're going to have to keep these lambs extremely evasive. Ouch. Ouch.
Light damage. Holding firm.
Yeah, I might have exposed the lamb a little too much here. A couple good hits and our lamb could be in serious trouble. So that's the catch-22 with the lamb. Luckily the evasion is keeping it in pretty good shape. And he is causing the enemy to waste a lot of their shots. Instead of engaging our lance that's approaching. So there is that. Alright, we got a raptor there. Alright, might as well work on the enemy building while we get into range.
Enemy structure is weakening.
Yeah, that Stinger lamb is really exposed. Really exposed. But see, the benefits here, Pokey here can go after this turret even though he doesn't have line of sight. So that's another benefit of the lamb, is your fire support weapons, which would be LRMs and artillery, can really use their full range to their maximum advantage here. And the enemy is wasting a lot of their shots at our lamb. So if you keep a lamb evasive and the enemy keeps attacking it instead of focusing on the rest of your lance, it could be a strategy that we could use. But one good hit and that lamb is going to be in serious trouble. So there's going to be a real plus and minus associated with this.
Good to go.
Alright, so let's keep our lamb evasive. Okay, so let's keep our lamb evasive. We need the ability to turn around. Alright, so let's do that. So our lamb is staying evasive. It's still providing vision. To anything that it can shoot at, it provides vision to the rest of our company. Okay, but then look at what we could do. We could shoot some of these enemies in the back. So I could shoot this scorpion in the back. He missed. Not a good example.
No joy.
No joy there. So we have to be very careful about how we use this lamb.
Commander?
But I think it's going to be a very fun mech to play around with, especially since there are going to be some lambs that get up to 55 tons. So you can actually have a viable backstabbing mech that can drop down behind the enemy while the rest of your force takes on the enemy to the
Minimal
front.
damage. Guys, what do you need?
Alright, so let's we need to get some support up for the lamb. So
On my way.
let's get our Jenner up there. Alright, we got a wolfhound, a raptor. Let's see. We can hit the building. Let's actually use a precision strike here on the raptor.
Here it comes.
Was hoping for a little more out of that strike. Alright, so they're still going after our Stinger,
What can I do for you?
but their hit percentage is lower because I pushed the Stinger back so it's farther away from the enemy. So it's going to take a while to figure out some of the strategies that we can put in place for
Special delivery!
using this Stinger. We'll keep going after one of the buildings there. If we take out the buildings, we always have the option to simply withdraw from and evac.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Alright, so let's keep pushing up Pokey.
Going turbo.
Alright, let's see. See, we don't have vision on that turret anymore. We do have vision on that turret. Probably go for this turret here.
Right, Commander.
I can't wait to put some MRMs into this dervish. MRMs are what a dervish was made for. I mean, it's really a game changer. If you put MRMs in a dervish, the firepower is pretty amazing for that tonnage. Alright, going after our Stinger Lamb. Engine critical. That's not good.
Crap, what was that?
Uh-oh. Alright, so we got to be even more careful with our Lamb now.
Awaiting orders. Moving out.
Yeah, we still
A
are better off just going after the buildings here. Gives us the flexibility to evac if we want to. There's actually a lot of enemies here on this map. In between the enemy mechs, the vehicles, and the turrets.
Yep.
We've got a lot of enemies to deal with here. That Wolfhound must have some ECM on it because it's a really hard target. Nice hit on the Raptor there, head hit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this Wolfhound has some ECM on it. Because the hit percentages are really low. I love the Wolfhound. It's one of my favorite light
Ready for
mechs.
orders.
Alright, so our Stinger Lamb needs to stay evasive. Let's also try to keep its rear away from the enemy because he already has structural damage to his rear. And we could do a number on this Hetzer. Alright. As much of a number as 3 medium lasers can do. That's one of the other catch-22s of the Stinger here. Okay. Yeah.
Internal structure damage. The bad kind.
Alright. Alright, our Stinger is in bad shape here, so I'm probably going to eject it. Ouch! Ooh!
I'm losing weapon systems.
Not good. Our
I
Stinger's...
hear ya.
Stinger's very fragile. That's the one problem with the lighter lambs, is they're so fragile. They're so fragile that, you know, it's going to be a challenge.
Sprinting.
But hey, this is part of why we're playing. This is to learn how to use the lambs correctly. Right, let's see if we can get rid of this raptor with a lucky shot here, maybe. Nope. Alright, they're going to keep going after that lamb.
What can I do for you?
Okay, Pokey, move up.
Pedal to the metal.
Alright.
Commencing Alpha
See if we
Strike.
can get rid of one of these mechs quickly by just really focusing down on that raptor, just to try to get an enemy off the map. Alright. Huh. So I like the idea of what the lambs can do. I just don't know if a Stinger lamb is viable because it's really fragile. Really, really fragile.
Is that it? I'm barely scratched.
Ooh. Talking a lot of trash. Talking a lot of trash for being in a Clint. See how the enemy is really focused in on our lamb? That's a combination of the fact that it's the closest enemy to them and the fact that it has structural damage. So our lamb is still really acting as a nice decoy.
Wilco?
Alright, there goes the raptor
That's gonna hurt.
on the ground, unless he
My
ejects.
flamer is empty.
Got to start working through these enemy mechs. Alright, let's see what the Wolfhound does. Wolfhound's got a lot of firepower for its tonnage. Do not take a Wolfhound lightly, or you're
Standing by.
not going to be happy with what happens to you. Speaking of which, we need to get in to the point where we can actually do some melee soon with that Wolfhound. Take some of its evasion away. Ooh, alright, it lost its evasion because it didn't move with that last shot. Actually, let's save our precision strike. Let's see if we can
Got it.
start getting some structural damage on this Wolfhound while it's not evasive.
My mech is overheating.
The mech is overheating. Alright, Stinger Lamb needs to be ejected.
Standing by.
Alright, okay, so now that it's taken damage, it's losing, actually it's keeping its full evasion. Alright, so what if we move it way over here? Way over here, and just try to keep it as a distraction for the enemy. We can also use target prediction. And we can actually go after this turret here. Alright, thank you for the follow, Gaijin and XX Shack. Interesting name, XX Shack. So our lamb is still getting beat up, even though it's really evasive.
Good to go.
But the good news is it is causing a lot of damage, or a lot of distraction, so the rest of our mechs can move forward. Alright, so there goes the raptor.
Enemy down.
Save that heat for the next
We can do this.
target,
Let's
please.
go.
That's a kill.
There's no reason to teabag that poor raptor.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Right, we need to try to hit that wolfhound while it's not evasive. Let's actually do a precision strike here. It's going to be worth it. Was really hoping to get structural damage there. Ooh, pilot injury on our Jenner, not good. Alright, our Stinger Lamb's probably done as much for us as it can do at this point.
Standing by.
Fire bee. Let's
Confirmed.
move up Fire bee. Right, we got a really good chance to hit this Fire bee, this Wolfhound hard. So we're going to use all of our rockets on this Fire bee, or on this Wolfhound. Sorry. And we'll even do a precision strike. Want to make sure every one of these rockets hits home.
Confirmed.
Nice hits on that
Going to
Wolfhound.
critical. My flamer is empty.
These periphery mechs that have rocket launchers can do a lot of damage, but you have to make the most of those one-shot weapons for sure. Alright. Our Stinger is still hanging in there.
Aye, aye.
Alright, so we're actually going to push in our Jenner. See if we can finish off this Wolfhound.
Moving out.
Oh!
Ooh, I was hoping he would eject. Yes! We got 3 parts of the Wolfhound, and I love the Wolfhound. It's one of my favorite light mechs. Alright, so what should we do with our Lamb here? Can we keep it around, distracting the enemy? It's pretty risky here. It seems like the Lamb also has the ability to go out of bounds on the map. Alright, so let's keep the Lamb in here and causing a distraction. It's very risky, but it does give the enemy something to think about. The question is, can the Lamb
Waiting for orders.
avoid destruction here? That's kind of the challenge. Let's move up our Clint. I want to get rid of this turret if we can.
Got it.
There we go.
That's a kill.
I hear ya.
Pokey, pokey.
Moving out.
I'm gonna go after this hover transport or the Scorpion. Hover transport is a much better target, so let's take that shot.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Alright, we got some structural damage.
You could fry an egg in here.
This might be our last mission, especially since I think we have to travel after this mission.
I'm getting all shot up, Commander.
Win, lose, or draw. That was a hard hit on our Clint.
Damage minimal.
Another Scorpion.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, let's go for a kick on that Scorpion.
Ah!
Ouch, our Clint is really getting beat up here.
This is getting...
Oh, and I don't have a double heat sink
Ah!
available.
I took some shrapnel.
Alright, this battle is not looking so good.
Move into position.
We just have a lot of support vehicles here. And eventually those support vehicles are going to add up to some significant damage. Ouch.
I'm losing weapon system.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Commander,
Alright, let's be aggressive with our lamb here.
firing on rear arc.
Ouch.
Armor blow through. Internal damage.
What can I do for you?
Alright. So one of the big things about
Moving out.
Battletech Advanced is sometimes you have to learn that it's just time to withdraw. So we're going to withdraw from this mission. We're taking
Wait,
too much
We're
damage.
running away?
Yep, we're running away. We're taking too much damage for the possible benefits of completing the mission. Alright, so we lost money. Bad faith efforts. Our best pilot is out for 42 days. That is not good. Alright, so we got our butt handed to us on that mission. So, one of the things you need to do with Battletech Advanced, especially, is sometimes you have to say, you know what? We're running for it. Alright, so I got a part of a Wolfhound out of that. You know, actually not bad salvage for a bad faith withdrawal. I can live with that. You know, we definitely lost more than we gained on that mission. But that was our first mission with a lamb, so that we were doing some experimentation there more than anything else. So we're going to travel now. So one of the things I like to figure out when I travel. Alright, so let's look at the mech bay. So our Clint is in pretty bad shape. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to sell the Clint. We're going to scrap the Clint because I have a Panther, which I would argue is a better version of the Clint. I know the tonnage is lower, but I think the Panther can do a lot more for us. So speaking of the Panther, and I've had some questions about this in the chat. So what are we going to do? We're going to take off the jump jets on this Panther, which actually makes it a pretty decent brawler for its tonnage, and it doesn't cost us any time. I would say it's just, this game is just as difficult as before the update to 8.3. We just have to learn how to play our lambs correctly. So let's repair our Jenner. Let's repair our lamb. How do I feel about the lamb? I don't know. I feel like this thing is just really prone to taking damage. So we're going to have to see if we can get to a comfort level with this thing. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting design. And there's lots of different strategies that will come. Why keep the PPC? I mean, there's a couple different things. So let's go back to the Panther. So what we can do is we could take off the PPC, and we can actually replace it with 1, 2, 3, 4 medium lasers. So there is logic to us taking off the medium lasers. We can also move the SRM ammo out of the center torso, and we can change the SRM4 to a SRM6. So that actually does give us a fair amount of more firepower. So that is a valid point, Steinen. So I can do that. I was going to keep the PPC because we're kind of replacing the Clint with it. But then again, we do have the Fire Bee that has the PPC. So I think you're right. I think... all right, we got 1.5 tons left here. Is there anything else we can put in this sucker? Or is it just going to be short? I mean, we could actually put jump jets back into it if we want to. So we can put in 2 jump jets. So it's fully armored. It's got 4 medium lasers. They're all in this arm, so we have to be a little worried about that. We have the SRM6. I think that's a pretty good build. It's going to be 13 days. So Steinen, you had a good point. There are times where I'll strip out the PPC and add 4 medium lasers and SRM6. So I think that's a good choice for what we have to do right now. Let's look at the Fire Bee. Now the Fire Bee, I'd like more sustainability out of this Fire Bee, to be honest with you. So let's take out the medium lasers, the rocket launchers, or the PPC, the rocket launchers. I would like to make this mech more sustainable. So yeah, Steinen, I mean, there is a place for the PPC, but you're right. On lighter mechs, it is a little tough to justify. So let's look at the Fire Bee. The benefit of the Fire Bee is it does have a lot of missile slots. So what can we do? We can put in an SRM6. An SRM4, an SRM4, and a medium laser, let's see, we'll put the double heat, 2 of the double heat sinks into the torso. put in some SRM ammo. Okay. We still have a rocket launcher 15. We can take that out of the arm, out of this torso, which is a good idea. And then we could still put in another rocket launcher 15. A rocket launcher 10. And a rocket launcher 10. So, actually, this is a nice build. I would like a little bit more armor. But this actually gives us SRM 14, all the rocket launchers, and then the medium laser. So, I think that's an improvement for the fire beast. We also need to look at the dervish. Let's see. How many LRMs do I have? LRM 5s. Okay, so we're actually going to take out the LRM 10 on this arm, put in 2 LRM 5s because that actually saves us a ton. That we can use on something else. Let's see. Let's see. We could trade the SRM 2 out for an SRM 4. Make use of that extra ton. And we're slowly getting this thing. Take the LRM ammo, put it in the torso, take the SRM ammo, or we're taking the ammo out. We probably don't need 2 tons of SRM ammo. So let's take 1 ton of SRM ammo. We're going to maximize the armor. And that only takes 1 day. That's one of the benefits of the dervish. The SRM2 and the LRM10s are bad with the capital B. Yeah, so basically we've increased our durability. It's really thin on the legs though, but we've increased the durability a little bit. So, You know what, let's take out the LRM10 and 1 ton of LRM ammo. Bear with me. We're going to put in 2 rocket launcher 15s. We're going to increase the armor. We're going to max out the armor. Alright, so that gives us a little bit more firepower and a little bit more durability. And that'll take us 2 days.
Logged and noted.
I wish I had an XL engine. If I had one, I would be using it, but we're only on the 2nd day of this playthrough. Alright, so let's prioritize our repairs. We got Pokey, the Jenner, the Stinger, I guess, the Jenner, the Panther. Okay, so we're actually going to want to try to travel a little bit. So before we travel, let's find out how much money we have. Alright, so we can actually sell 2 of these AC2s. Let's try to raise some money before we make this trip. I'm not a fan of the chemical lasers. Let's sell those. I don't think we need 3 PPCs. Let's sell 2 of those. Chemical laser, we'll sell those. I'm going to keep the thumper artillery. We don't need these cores. Okay. Okay, so that's good for. We'll keep the other cores. All right, deep sinks. All right. Ooh, we got a heatsink kit, so we'll be using that later. Jump jets. We do not need 31 jump jets. Probably want to keep 10 of those in reserve, just because we have the Lamb, so we might need to replace jump jets more often than normal. All right, so that gives us enough money that we can actually travel. All right. Okay, so here's the new star map. Let's take a look at the star map. So let's look at the new additions to the map. So this is Twycross, which is now basically a clan mech market where you can go and buy clan tech. Okay, so that's that. And then also the new change is, if you look in House Karita here, we've got Clan Novacat. That's the new additions to the map. But for us, we obviously want to work our way to the center of the map. So we are on a one skull planet. I think we can handle another one skull planet without too much trouble. So let's find some more one skull planets. We're way out in the boonies. We want to work our way towards friendly space. Right, so we've got a travel that's going to take 37 days, Isabella, or 33 days. Let's take this travel. This will actually allow us to get a lot of our mechs back on their feet. And we have plenty of money for this travel, so I'm not worried about it. We're going to have to pay our bills twice, but we have enough money that we should be okay. And this gives us a chance. Yeah, we'll add the campaign flashpoints just in case we want to play those later. We're going to skip. Okay, so our, let's see, temporary improvements. You arrive at the morning briefing. I've got one more pilot shows up to complain. Argos very powerful systems that are currently off signs. Might help with the current workload. All right, so we'll draft some pilots because the pilots won't be available for a while. Let's see, since we're also making a long travel, let's make sure we're upgrading our power systems.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
So I took this long travel by design because we have lots of mechs that we're upgrading or repairing. And it'll also give us some time to do some work in engineering.
Got a new financial report for you, Commander.
Okay. We're still doing fine. We got plenty of money here, so I'm not worried about that. We're going to keep our morale at the same levels. We're not flooded with cash, but we should get to the next planet before we have to pay our bills again.
Those upgrades you asked for are online, Commander.
Okay. So engineering, what can we spend money on? I'd love to get the other mech bay here. It's really tempting. We're going to do it. We're going to get the second mech bay.
I'll get the crew moving.
It's really expensive, but since we're getting to the next planet before we have to pay our bills again, it's going to be worth it to actually have the second mech bay available.
We're almost completely out of cash.
Yeah, I need the second mech bay because we're actually only a couple parts away from getting several new mechs. So the extra mech bay will help us substantially here. There's a method to my madness, IMG. There's a method to it. Because we're only a couple parts away from getting several mechs. So we're going to want that extra mech space. Oh, geez. Oh, boy. Okay. I would love to set aside some money for my mech techs, but I can't. So we're going to have to discipline them. So we're going to have a negative tech point penalty for 30 days. I can live with that. Yep, going to lose tech points. There was no way around that.
We've arrived at our destination, Commander.
Okay. Financial report is in 9 days. Let's see what we have in the mech bay. Is everybody... No, we still need the Fire Bee and the Panther. Okay. Okay. Do we have anything in storage? Is the question. We do not. So we're probably going to have to drop light. But I want to have the second mech bay ready.
Broke, Commander.
I know, Darius. We're nearly broke.
Network orders complete. Boss.
Right, so now...
Not much work, if I may say so.
Stop. Stop. I'll get it done eventually. That's funny. Yang is all by himself in the mech bay. Alright, so that's where we're going to leave it. I think we're in a good place to end the stream here. We're going to pick this up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with some more BattleTech Advanced. So please join us then, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.